Hello anyone and everyone. Welcome to the July Tech Design Update video for Seeds of Earth. In June, we worked on restoring the functionality from the vertical slice prototype, such as buying and selling modules, inventory and loadout management, and tools for building missions. To showcase these changes, we built a simple mission with some silly voiceovers, chat dialogue, asteroid obstacles, and some simple enemy formations. For July, we focused on generating more content using our new tools. Along the way, however, we did a lot of investigation into the overall structure of the play experience. With all of this exploration and prototyping, we have a ton of new features, scenes, and mechanics to introduce. So let's get into it. One of the first decisions we made in the July milestone was to split out the safe area interactions from the main play space. These actions include buying and selling items, and upgrading and customizing your ship. Since the lore of the game has the player protecting and coordinating with a giant carrier ship, we decided it made sense that the ISHA jump carrier would facilitate these functions. To that end, we prototyped a discrete scene for the jump carrier such that players no longer fly around to find and interact with the module vendor. Instead, they can return to the jump carrier through any grasp node and opt to buy new modules, sell unwanted loot, and upgrade their ship in a dedicated scene. Along with this, we created a proof of concept for the grasp mechanic. The grasp map allows the player to move between the jump carrier and the different areas in the game, while the grasp node is the interactable object that opens the grasp map when already in the play space. Week 2 brought some major polish to the jump carrier scene, including a hangar model that looks downright awesome. Now players can access some of the menus and properly buy and sell modules. Next, we focused on building out more of the mission system and getting a feel for mission structures and our philosophy around guiding the players through a mission storyline. To do this, we created our first mini mission. This mission includes dialogue, several waypoints, some interactable objects, simple enemy waves, and a small boss fight. It also includes some loot boxes and customized loot generation. This small mission was a great testbed for design ideas and developing a workflow for creating content. Week 3 was all about polish and refinement. We added some quality of life improvements to some old systems, such as showing a range indicator for pickups and other interactables, and putting a more obvious glow effect and dedicated cargo pod model for the pickups and loot containers. Additionally, we restored the functionality of cruise mode, accessed by pressing the C key, converted the inventory from a list to a grid, and did a big balance pass on all enemies. On top of all of this, we experimented with bounding the play space for our mission, by adding in static asteroids that prevent players from flying off into oblivion. This was very instructive and gave us a ton to discuss and consider as we continue to feel out how the moment-to-moment gameplay is going to function. In the end, we decided this type of level bounding is a little too over the top and are looking at building a more open, point-of-interest driven system that will guide players through the areas in a more organic manner. All the same, however, the tweaks and explorations in this mission were very enlightening and very much worth our time. For the last week of the July milestone, we worked to bring it all together. The save game system was rebuilt, and the menu flow for creating a pilot is back in operation. Now players can create a new pilot, selecting the megacorp they want, and properly save and load their loadout and inventory when traveling between the jump carrier and the play space. This adds a whole new level of depth that makes the game feel great. Additionally, the jump carrier module vendor now generates a list of modules for sale based on the player's current average module quality level. This makes the vendor feel much more dynamic and useful and paves the way for a functioning module and grip economy. Seeds of Earth is really starting to come together. We've done a lot of design discussion around the play space, around how to present the story, and what the progression of areas and encounters will look like. With the implementation of the save game system and jump carrier, we now have everything we need to build out more meaningful long-term content and begin addressing the game as a whole instead of in the small parts we've been building before. For August, we will be using these new systems to stand up even more missions and get a good sense of how points of interest will be used to drive the storyline. Additionally, we will be bringing the full economy online and working toward real loot and ship progression. Lots of exciting things on the horizon. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check in for updates about Seeds of Earth next time.